Okay, I don't know what just happened. My video file just corrupted, but anyways, today we're gonna be going over what if civilization started over in Europe, and compared to our real life scenario, compared to real life, compared to this world, very different, very different scenario compared to what we have in what's going on in real life. So this is what we have for the ideology layers. I did um, go ahead and furnish everything or redo everything. So, um, every country should have a bubble on top of their own nation. If not, then I can fix that later. All right. So now we're gonna focus onto what we have going on in today's video. We will have World War II. It may seem like it would not happen in this world so far, but as we have previous tensions recently coming up again, military alliance, we see the alliances between the. I believe this is the. Let me find it. Y'all should see this as well. The Heptagon Alliance. That's what it's called. We have the Heptagon Alliance versus the 5 Point Star Alliance. And, this is when we're going to have a new nation join these alliances. Based on what we have for each analytic things or whatever. I don't know. I just like saying random stuff. But we will go back to over here, and we're just gonna simply just go ahead and copy all of this. Boom, boom. Over here, France has joined this alliance. We will see another country join this alliance, and it will be well, cancel, and it will be the English nation right up here. Fix yourself. Okay, I'll fix it for you. The English nation right here, and um, sadly, we will have the Iberian nation join a different alliance. It was supposed to be not this way. They have swapped over to the dark side. Which leads to Europe being into a new political standoff, and we basically have the top three nation versus the top one power. And this is when things get a bit more complicated. As if we go ahead and copy this and paste, we have Finland, Germany, Russia, and Iran left on these positive stand views, but we have Sudan joining this as they want to retake Egypt, as they see them as a puppet state of their previous masters, Greece. So we will have another country joining this, and as you can see, this country decided to join this. So why not we bring another one? The Green Nation up here will join, and we'll see a new country join this Star Alliance, and it will be Korea. Go ahead and copy and paste. Oh wait, no. No. Oh my gosh. Okay, this is getting annoying. Okay, there we go. So we go ahead and copy and paste all of this, and Korea will join, and we'll have Russia joining on this, along with the purple northern nation up there. And yeah, the Central Asian country will also join this, as they don't want Mongolia to get anything out of this. No. As we'll even see another country join this alliance, it will be Tibet. Yeah, there's not a whole lot of neutral nations anymore. As we will see, southern this what? No, the southern Chinese joining the dark side, as they have done something terrible to the Koreans, and they don't like them anymore, which leads to the World Alliance being something like this. Yeah, it doesn't end up going well in the long run, as now we'll see World War II begin to play out. On the other hand, we will see the alliance of India having a union happening, and it will despite previous tensions between the uh, Eastern Indian team and the Beige Indian team, or the sandy color Indian team, they have begun to rekindle their relationship, and it kind of led to a massive union. Hello? There we go. It led to a very massive union between the two, and it's gonna be underneath the teal or the East Indian team. Just I don't want gray on gray to be there. Which we'll also see another union happen down here, and it's gonna be between the Southern Indian team and the Sri Lankans, which just leaves to Southern India and Northern India. Yeah, not only did the East Indian team almost double their population, I think, and the Southern Indian team, they got quite a bit of population, though it wasn't much, as they got like. Let me fix my colors real quick. As they've gotten like what, this many major cities. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 8 more major cities. So that was a huge contribution, and also we will be seeing the splitting up of Bangladesh. Despite previous tensions between the three countries surrounding it, um, they're starting to put an end to this country. And we will see the first country to make the move. It will be Thailand, as they will begin to move into the country of Bangladesh. And their military is already accompanied or accustomed to all the forestry all around. So they'll quickly begin to block off the southern Chinese, as they don't want them to get land. And as based off of what we have between these two, it kind of seems like there's a possible union between the two. On the other hand, we will see the Thai quickly begin to claim this much or gather that much territory. As we will see, the Northern Indian team quickly begin to move into the heavy populated areas, which makes it way more difficult to move into, as they will quickly swipe off most of the northern areas, and they'll meet up with the Thai team. As this is their first instance in meeting with them, and it goes pretty well actually, as they've discovered that their relationships are not so different, as they hate the Southern Indian team as well for, I don't know, imperialism. But they will make the deal of where they will get a little bit of land and take two major cities. So we will see the splitting up of the red team, and the Thai will actually be getting most land out of this, but not the most valuable, as they will not be getting the um, most populated areas, as that will go over to the Northern Indian team. And the Northern Indian team will quickly take up all of this, which will quickly get rid of their capital. Boom. And we'll see the Southern Chinese team quickly just yoink. Oh, wrong layer. As they will quickly yoink. And the Thai team will quickly begin to look like this, as they've completely made themselves extremely populated, despite already being extremely populated beforehand. As now we will see a deal happen all the way down here between the Southern Chinese and the Vietnamese. The Vietnamese wanted coastal territory over here, and the Chinese team wanted territory down over here, which makes it not really a fair deal, but we will see the Vietnamese quickly just annex the territories they said they would hand over. So the Vietnamese would hand over the territories they said they would hand over. Yeah, without the Southern Chinese knowing, they just yoinked Taiwan while they were at it. But they still gave over the piece of the land they promised. Not as much, so. They gave over, like, that much territory. So that means Vietnam got a lot more powerful. Hooray. And back onto World War II, we will have supporting nations, though they will not be listed as what you could tell based off the military alliances or economic alliances, and we will see the removal of the Iberian team after they have joined the sworn enemy of the French. which I'm just gonna boom. The the Iberian team was kicked out, and these alliances will stay the same. It, oh, excuse me. Oh, what? Bro. Okay, let me just fix this. Okay, there. And if we go and take a look back at the economic and military alliances, you can kind of see a bit of correlation. For example, the French and the English are in one giant economic alliance. Boom. And we have the Koreans and the Russians on the same economic alliance, which kind of says something as their ideologies, they're almost the exact same monarchy, democracy, stuff like that. Maybe like one opposite country, but on the now we'll focus onto the actual war stuff. As we will see. Oh wait, I need to bring him up again. The invasion of England, as Irish troops will swiftly move um into these territories. Let me just boom. Again, the Irish troops will move into the English territories, and yeah, they've already taken over the entire northern half of England, and this is when England will quickly respond by yeah, their retaliation is invasion back, and they've taken everything like that, and Pressure's like, what are you doing? Why did you invade them? Because now they gotta do an entire peace deal over here, which makes their relationship sour even more, as England will gain all these territories, or most of the territories they had invaded into, which reduces a significant amount of population in the Irish territories, but boosts up the English territories. As now we will see, Wales. Yeah, they weren't a very strong country, and I believe they were fascist. Let me just bring it up. Yeah, their fascism wasn't really working for them, so it kind of killed them in the end. And I just the English, they did not invade into the Irish claims into Wales. It was actually more of a peaceful annexation. And also, they'll make it to where they'll only have one capital, as the previous country all the way down over here, Cornwall, has agreed to we should only have one capital. That way, we don't like get in any danger or stuff, something like that. Also, ideology, we gotta remove it. Oh my gosh, why is this so painful? Boom. Okay, there. That completely removes everything from Wales. So that leaves two remaining countries into the, or three actually, if we include the French, but no. And back on to the World War II thing, and it's gonna be the invasion of the Prussians, or the Polish at this point, as I've just realized that. And Poland, that's what I'm gonna call them now, and yeah, the Polish, they're invading into Germany, a very heavy ally of the French, which also before they had invaded, let me just right before they had invaded, they had quickly joined the alliance, as they felt like something was wrong. And hello, let me just okay, thank you. As they had felt something was wrong, and let me just thank you again, as they had felt something was wrong, so they decided to join. Oh my gosh, why is everything so annoying? No, as they had joined the alliance before um, Poland could realize. Sadly, um, Poland will continue to roll into the said territories of Germany before they realized like their military generals just quickly realized that, hey, they had joined the alliance of the French, and they're like, oh crap, why didn't you tell me earlier? It was a very late thing. They had planned this for many months, and they had not expected them to join. It's stuff like that, and this is when they'll come to their aid. Yes, Poland would completely take over the Copenhagen Islands up here, and yes, yeah, and I don't believe Finland is on this, so they will not be enjoy. They will not be joining in this war. So it just leaves to a two-front war. England will quickly begin to invade into the Irish areas as they feel like they should invade into these areas before anything happens. And oh gosh, they were right. And let me give me a second. All right, back and as we'll see the return of the Scottish. Yeah, so the English they just quickly gave up all the Scottish territory except for like down over here. But the Scottish will also appear up here. Kind of like let's just even though there's no cities up there, there's still some major settlements up there, and the Scottish they're kind of invading your main territory because there's like several rebellions happening through here, and yeah, the English will also get involved because they'll quickly just bolt across, and that completely splits up their country into two different pieces. So now we'll see the Iberians begin to invade into the French territories. They'll quickly cut off or try to cut off the French from the Mediterranean and from their Spanish territories up here. But yeah, no, that's kind of not working out. As we will see, the Iberians quickly invade into the Atlantic islands that the French control. Yeah, they'll control or quickly control all of these territories right here, and they'll begin to invade uh, into the French territories of the 15 colonies, and the 15 colonies, which now is like two colonies now, um, they're here for their revenge. As we will see multiple rebellions appear again, and it just kind of leads into this. Yeah, the French, they're not doing too well in the Americas. That's because they're trying to focus on multiple things at a time. But so are the Iberians, as their role into the Americas will quickly slow down as yeah, the French, they're pushing back. They don't care. They're killing every single civilian, causing massive genocides, which kind of leads to the complete fall or capitulation of many areas of the Floridan territories. And yeah, they basically have them fully surrounded, and the leader of this country will quickly just like flee into Iberia or something like that, as this is just the rest of their nation, and they'll just surrender, but not on the map so far. As we'll even see all the way into the Asian territories, we see this giant alliance. We see the French, or not the French, the Thailands, the Thais, as they'll begin to invade into the southern Chinese. And, yeah, the Vietnamese will also join on this. Hello, okay, thank you. As they'll also join on this, and, yeah, they aren't winning. But the southern Chinese, they weren't expecting this, so they got their act together, and, they did a lot of successful pushbacks as they've gotten all the way to their border in multiple places. And they've kicked them out of all major cities, and now they're just trying to push back the Thailands, and they pushed them back to their original border, but they're not escaping out of or they're not going out of the major cities that they currently control. And they're going to continue to control the major cities until they're underneath Thai government. And also, we'll see the Koreans. despite their giant size, even all the way over here, they'll begin to invade into these southern Chinese territories over here. As we'll also see the French join this, because why not? They'll just quickly just take over these southern areas. Oh yeah, the Bangladesh colony. I never really spoke about this, but we will see a colony going over to the I'm trying to pick. Trying to think. To the English. Yeah. The colony over here is going to go over to the English, as the French trust them over here. And we'll see the rest of the colony just go over to Germany over here. They've been extremely respectful to the French, and that's kind of why they decided to give it over to the Germans. So they'll just fully take that. And now we'll just work on to a different rebellion area. Specifically over here, we see Ethiopian rebels appear. And they're appearing all the way up here, like pro Ethiopian rebels. Despite good relations, they're now quickly souring after the Ethiopians put their support into the rebels up here. So yeah, that goes to them, and we have pro-French rebels, as this is actually not being funded by the French. This is being funded by a different country, perhaps even a puppet state of France, but pro-French rebels are down over here, and they're just wild right now, as they've completely taken over that much territory, and yeah, the French, they don't want to take much land away from this country, as they do not accept it at first, as they see it as a terrorist organization, before they realize, oh, it's free land, why not? So they'll accept a deal where this country will completely just give over this much territory over to the French on the east coast, but over here, kind of a different story, as they'll just give over that much territory, which kind of leaves them looking like this, like a Kenyan empire. But we see pro-Sudanese rebels appear, and this is when things get complicated. They're fighting each other, so as they're both funding these rebels, not looking too well for Ethiopia, as they wanted all this territory. They didn't want to give it over to the Sudanese areas, as they wanted it. They feel like they should continue to control it. But now on to the actual African front of World War II. We will see the Sudanese invade into the deserted areas of Egypt. They'll take up this much before the Egyptians just they go ballistic, as they're already sieging your capital city. Yeah, and we'll see the Ethiopians join on this, and that just kind of releases all these territories up here. The pro-Prussian territories will appear, but they don't want to deal with that. The Prussians don't want to deal with it, as they don't want their African colony being taken. As remember the areas up here? Oh yeah, Greece, they made a deal with the Yugoslavian country, like, if you give us a little bit of land back that we used to control, you'll have our indefinite alliance. So they even gave back a little bit extra territories, I believe. I'll have to check on that, and they just gave back that much. But luckily for the Yugoslavians, they're invading into the Prussian or Polish territories, and it's working out very successfully, as yeah, Poland, what are you doing? Like, actually, you're falling very quickly. The French weren't expecting this, so yeah. Yeah, even the Germans are appearing and saying, "Oh, you know what? Since you're being so easy to kill right now, they're taking over all of your Norwegian, Swedish territories up here, as they see huge amounts of potential up here, and they're technically not wrong, as they find a bunch of oil. Yeah, oil. They'll even take over the Ethiopian area islands up there, and we'll have Finland joining on this again, as they will begin to invade into the Latvian territories right here, and Belarusian territories right there, which quickly ends up looking like this, and we will see Germany just stop invading all the way up till, like, probably this point right here. Boom. And they basically surrender. Also, the French, they had been invading into their African colony areas, as they kind of wanted to link up their colony down here. Yeah, it kind of goes well whenever the French kind of wanted even more land right here where they could just, boom, connect right there. But they think it's more useful to have an entire colony from down here to there. But we will see even more growth from down here, and the Egyptians take over the Sudanese capital, and that kind of just leaves them into anarchy. And this is when they finally surrender, after they finally take over their major city. Yeah. And we will see the even more land deals over here, as the Egyptians, they're cuddling up to the Greeks very, very close now, as they hand over this much territory. Yeah, a bunch. Which they, in response, they give over this much, as they get closer to their capital, and the Greeks got closer to their capital. Yeah. And we'll even see a final deal over here where the Romanians will hand over a little bit of territory over to the Greeks. Their previous annexed territories right here will simply just go blum. Yeah, the Prussians finally surrender. Oh yeah, this problem. Yeah, they really thought the French weren't going to do anything about it. That's funny. Yeah. 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 They do get a pat on the back for trying, though. Also, during that entire time where they had to pull their troops away, that kind of led to the Floridians just trying to push in even more. Which they did a very successful job, by the way. Not judging or anything. They did a very successful job compared to the most powerful army in the world so far. As they've even taken over a little bit of the Bahamian territories, or all of the Bahamian territories, and they invaded into Cuba a little, or all of Cuba. But the French, they did retaliate a little bit. But the French, they're tired of fighting, stuff like that. So they'll just, like, sure, you take the northern Bahamian territories, sure, blah 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 blah. But we'll even see the invasion of oh yeah, over here. They just, like, split it in half, because we'll see the Scottish or whatever. They'll take over Newfoundland. Actually, no. Boom. They'll take over a little bit of modern day Quebecan territory, or Newfoundland territory. I don't know anymore. They'll take over, like, this much. So yeah, the English, they'll even get a little bit over here, as based on their entire fight. Obviously, I am rushing this. I'll make a more detailed video about this, or live stream, whatever. But I'm kind of trying to rush this, as I got some other plans for y'all, and some live streams coming in real soon. By the time y'all are seeing this, it's spring break. So yeah, I expect this to like give y'all a little bit of warning or whatever. But this is not the end of World War II. Y'all will see future updates into the next episode. Compared to what I would normally make, this is like 3 times as short than what I would make. Hope y'all enjoyed today's video, and peace out.